Hello, it's Burgess Taylor, and today is going to be Reader Wednesday. We're going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, that is one of my very favorite series. I absolutely love and adore the series, Stephen King in particular. I am a constant reader. And as a constant reader, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I chose to reread the Dark Tower series, including some of the books that are connected. There's one book I haven't actually read called You Are or Your. Haven't read that one, and that one's at the end of my list. But to start out with, myself and quite a few other people, are doing a read along of the Dark Tower series and some of the majorly connected books. I will leave a link below to my website, to the blog post I wrote about the reading list. I used publication date along with what I thought. He started writing The Gunslinger when he was 19. So he actually started writing that before Salem's Lot, before Eyes of the Dragon, before The Little Sisters of Eluria, for quite a few of the books that are actually connected to the series. So to me, even though The Gunslinger wasn't technically published until much later, he started writing it first. To me, it came first. So the story of Roland Deschain, Midworld's last gunslinger, descendant of Arthur Eld. Roland is on a quest. His quest is to find the Dark Tower, to speak with the demon or the god that resides at the top of the Dark Tower, which is the nexus point of the space-time continuum and the heart of all worlds. The tower is under threat by the evil technology that was made by the Great Old Ones, and this technology is being used by someone or something to destroy the tower. The beams will destroy all worlds. Roland's quest is to stop this, to save his world, Midworld, and all other worlds. Roland travels from Midworld across a barren landscape that is post-apocalyptic towards the Dark Tower. He meets people, betrays people, loves people. He starts out the series as an anti-hero and a hero. But what King says about the story is the tale of Roland of Gilead's search for the Dark Tower is a single tale. He says, picturesque in nature, think Huckleberry Finn with monsters and characters who raft along the path of the beam instead of the Mississippi. Spanning 7 volumes, including dozens of plot twists and hundreds of characters, it's hard to tell how much time passes inside the story. Because in Roland Deschain's Where and When, both time and direction have become plastic. Outside the story, in what we laughingly call the real world, over 30 years passed between the first sentence and the last one. Roland, like I said, his quest is the Dark Tower. Stephen King calls this, in the introduction to Volume 1 of the Concordance by Robin Firth, he says, Roland's Grail is the Dark Tower, the linchpin of the time-space continuum, and his goal is to climb to its very top and question the god or demon who resides there. Roland's world is unraveling. The beams that maintain the proper alignment of time, space, size, and dimension are breaking down, and the tower itself is foundering. This structural instability affects all worlds, but in Roland's, the symptoms are dramatic. As the fabric of reality wears away, thinnings form and spread. As the landscape stretches, directions drift. What is west today may be southwest tomorrow, and southeast the day after. A goal that lay only 50 miles away could suddenly become 100 or even 1,000 miles distant. Roland doesn't even know where the tower is. He only knows that it resides in the in-world. Roland, he says, believing he can only reach his goal as a solitary traveler, he sacrifices all human relationships, even when it means betrayal, because he thinks such sacrifice will speed him along his way. Comrades and lovers are left behind like abandoned waterskins. Roland believes that to climb the tower, he must have no ties holding him to Midworld. He must be isolated, self-sufficient, cut off from the nurturing tides of relationship. In terms of conquest and battle, Roland follows the duplicitous Walter, otherwise known as the Man in Black, across the deserts of Midworld, believing that this enemy will eventually lead him to his goal. What Roland doesn't realize at first is that, like any young knight, he is being tested. The initial path he chooses is a false start, no more than a glamour thrown by the enemies who want to thwart him. Their treachery exposes is that the young Roland is driven by ambition, personal glory, and revenge as much as he is by his desire to fulfill his destiny as the last warrior of the White. And by tempting him to betray all that a knight should hold sacred, Roland's enemies ensure that Roland will repeat the mistakes of his fathers and either abandon his quest as hopeless or become lost in the deserts, Midworld, which in the end but mirror the dry wreckage of his heart. Roland doesn't realize, as the trickster Walter says, he already stands so close to the tower that worlds turn about his head. Because of Roland's own preconceptions, his inherited worldview, he does not understand that his fate and the fate of Midworld are one and the same. Roland books, the Dark Tower series, and the Gunslinger, the character Roland. All of this was inspired by Robert Browning's poem, Childe Roland to the Dark Tower Came, by Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Roland's story is not just an adventure tale. It is one with symbolic meaning. His pilgrimage is intrinsically linked to a legend from our world. A legend which was an important influence upon the modernists and which formed the basis for a famous poem by T.S. Eliot. That legend is the story of the Wasteland. In its incarnation in the Dark Tower series, this legend is bound to another belief, one that dates back to the time when men and women thought that their kings and queens were appointed by God. According to this worldview, the body of the king is the body of the land, and the well-being of one is indivisible from the well-being of the other. If the king is sick in body or in mind, then the land falls to ruin. To cure the land, you must first cure the king. The one will only flourish if the other is in balance. As above, so below, the disease of the larger is the same as that of the smaller, and they both progress according to the same principles. To understand what dries and devastates the land, what threatens the very fabric of the universe and the stability of the interpenetrating worlds, one must also understand what ails the king. All are affected by the same illness, but to cure this illness, we must discover its underlying cause. And that is the true purpose of Roland's journey. We all know that as the beams snap, the tower falters. What is its equivalent in the human plane? What malaise weakens the bonds of Midworld's culture? What disease affects Roland, the foremost representative of his fragmenting world? And he goes on, spoilers, and I don't want to reveal too many spoilers. I've already revealed a few. Dark Tower series is considered his magnum opus, and it is the center of many of his books. It's a bit of an omniverse. The series started on September 1st. It's not too late. We're just now ending chapter 1 and starting chapter 2. Some people are still working on chapter 1. I have discussion questions for chapter 1 and chapter 2. Most people haven't started answering the discussion questions for chapter 2 yet because we are supposed to be discussing chapter 1 this week. If you want to join us, please do. Like I said, the reading list is going to be on my website, on the blog. I hope you'll check it out. If you have any suggestions or comments, if you think something's maybe not in order, tell me what it is and why. So I want to discuss it. Thanks for watching, y'all. I am super excited about this. Like I said, this is my very favorite series. I started reading Salem's Lot when I was 10 in 1977 in the 5th grade when Mrs. Whittet started reading it during class, and then we would read aloud. And I ended up going to the library and getting a copy of it and reading it on my own, and then I got the paperback. I still have that paperback. I have the hard copy, have a hardcover of it, but I still have that paperback. That book is one of the books that is connected. Father Callahan from Salem's Lot is definitely connected to the Dark Tower series, and it is on our list, along with a lot of other ones like The Stand and The Eyes of the Dragon. So I'm really excited. I am reading, right now I am in chapter 2, and I have had to hold myself back from reading ahead too much. If you're interested, let me know. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.